time for me to reign and establishing this kingdom on earth, taking charge in works of his hands, holding fast to the faith should of death. I rule on earth, I win everywhere. God has conquered for, God has won it all.
You're listening to Dominion Voice by Pastor Lanre Ajanaku.
He said, looking at it, he said self-discipline is give another definition to it, the ability to control one's feeling to an outcome of one's business. It's the ability to pursue what one thinks is right despite temptation to do otherwise. There will always be temptation to do otherwise. But what helps us to stay focused and to stay in line is that ability is that which we call self-discipline, which is extremely important. It is a must for everyone who desires to grow financially. We cannot be financially reckless and indisciplined and expect that we will get to the destination that we want to get to. It is what separates the winners from the losers. It's that self-discipline that separates the winners from the losers. Every winner will always exercise self-discipline at one time or the other to be able to reach their goal. You can ask people who are boxers, Muhammad Ali or Mike Tyson, in their days. Don't ask Muhammad Ali, he's gone home. He's dead already. So you can ask anyone who is alive, or you ask anyone who is an athlete, and they will tell you that there is no way they could have become winners without the issue of self-discipline. And if you are listening to me, or you are listening on the internet, please note that we cannot trade self-discipline for any other thing. It is an action that connects today's action to tomorrow's reality. A lot of us have realities. We want to achieve set goals. It may be in entrepreneurship. It may be in music. It may be you want to write a book. It may be you want to raise up your children in the way they ought to be. We all need it. It's self-discipline is that which connects the action of today to the realities of tomorrow. If wishes were horses, even beggars will ride. But unfortunately, wishes are not horses. So beggars can't ride. So it is extremely important. It connects today's action to tomorrow's reality. A lot of people have lost their greatness, the tomorrow's greatness, as a result of lack of self-discipline. A great future, wonderful future that is set ahead. A lot of people have lost it because we are not disciplined. We are not disciplined. And in every month as we come like this, we look at what we have to do so that God can do what he has to do. You have to do what I have to do for God to be able to do what he has to do. There's an example of somebody in the scripture in Luke chapter 15, and I'm going to read you through. Someone who is very good, industrious, sharp, smart. We call him the prodigal son. Many of us will read his story and we look at it, but I want us to look at it closely today. And I'm going to read. Jesus continued. So there was a man who had 2 sons. The younger one said to his father, "Father, give me my share of the estate." So he divided his property between them. I normally say this father is very wise, because if the son is asking for his estate, asking for his will before he dies, the father is smart to have given it to him, because if he does not give to him, this son may plot the death of the father, knowing fully that he cannot inherit until he dies. Here somebody says, "I want to inherit you before you die." Verse 13, it says, not long after that, the younger son got together all he had, set off for a distant country, and there squandered his wealth in wild living. This just shows one thing: lack of self-discipline. He squandered all his wealth on wild living. After he had spent everything, there was a severe famine in the whole country. There was depression. In normal day, you will call there was recession, there was depression, the economy was down, things did not go as they ought to go. So he went and he began to be in need. So he went and hired himself out to a citizen of that country. So he sent him, who sent him to his field to feed pigs. He loved to fill his stomach with the bones of the pigs, with the bones of the pigs were eaten, but no one gave him anything. Then, when he came to his senses, he said, "How many of my father's hired servants have food to spare, and here I am starving to death? I will set out and go to my father and say to him, 'Father, I have sinned against heaven and against you. I am no longer worthy to be called your son. Make me like one of your hired servants.' So he got up and went to his father. But while he was still a long way off, his father saw him, and he was filled with compassion for him, and he ran to his son, threw his hands around him, and did what? And kissed him." It is important for us all to know that this is extremely important. What are the features of this son? The features of this son. Number one, this son was very ambitious, which we all need. We need to be ambitious. We need to be people of vision. If anyone should ask us today, what is your set vision for the next 3 years? You must be able to say it at the finger of your tips. Just at the finger of, at the tip of your finger. If anyone should ask us today, what do you want to achieve in the next couple of years, 5 years? I'm talking of setting goals now. Short-term goals, medium-term goals, long-term goals. The short-term goal is 0 to 1 year, 12 months. What do you want to achieve in this year, 2019? The medium-term goal, 0 to 5. What do you want to achieve within around 5 years? Long-term goal, 5 to 10 and above. What do you want to achieve? If anyone is asking that question to you now, can you give an answer right away? You know, I was having lunch with Shay here some time ago, and Kevin, and we were just discussing. And she just picked a book and brought us one laminated goal and said, "Look, this is what I have to achieve for this year." And me, not only has she written it out, she laminated it and kept it where she could see it every day. And I said, wow, I always have my goal, but I'm not done to the point of laminating it and keeping it. And I said, this is a lesson. This is something I have to learn. And that's the issue for every one of us. Do you have set goals? Now, this is July. Am I right? The 7th month. We've already started the second half of the year. Now, if you have set goals, have you visited those goals to check out, have I achieved them? What do I need to do to achieve them? What do I need to change? For every one of us, we all have to bear in mind that major decisions that affect our lives just need 1 or 2 tweaks in our daily routine and we'll achieve it. It's not so much of big things. You want to achieve to write a book, then possibly you just need to tweak your life to make sure that you're a reader. Make sure you don't go to bed without at least, on whatever topic you want to write on, you must read other people's views. You must know where they are coming from to be able to make you a strong writer. You want to be a writer, you have to be a reader. In life, readers are leaders. Yeah. And I would say everyone, every day, we must at least take 20 minutes to read.
Yes.
Before you go to bed, yes. Or when you wake up in the morning.
Yes.
20 minutes, minimum. Read 20 minutes. I'm not talking of the Bible alone now. I'm not even other books or anything that has to do with your life. Just 20 minutes. Why? Because it will sharpen your mind. It will sharpen my mind. So short-term goals, long-term goals, medium-term goals, do we have them? It is when we have these goals that we can actually be self-disciplined. So this guy was very ambitious. Number 2, this guy is a pace setter. We may criticize him, but hey, nobody has done it before, but he did something that nobody has done before. To go to his father and say, I want my own part of the inheritance, even before he died, before the father died. He's a pace setter. He is I mean, if anyone says that, if the father is saying, where have you heard it before? So go to the Bible. Can you read about the prodigal son? He did something different. He's a person. Number 3, this young guy is very daring. Very, very daring. And I tell you sincerely, you want to make a difference, we have to be very daring. Very daring. Not only is he very daring, he's also a risk taker. Listen to me carefully. Everyone wants to be great, but if you are not ready to take risk, you cannot get there so quickly. So he's a risk taker. He took his inheritance, and not did he stay there, he went to a far place. He took the risk. He's a risk taker. We must not be afraid of risk. In fact, what is faith? Hebrews 11:4, Hebrews 11:1. It says faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. But I want to make faith in the conventional language. I would say faith is guaranteed risk. Who guarantees the risk? God. Faith is guaranteed risk. It's a risk to anybody who looks at it, but God has guaranteed this risk. Faith. So what is faith? Faith is guaranteed risk that you can't fall, you can't fail in it. And that is the advantage that you and I have when you have God, as Christians, a child of God. You know that there is somebody watching your back. That's the most part. So this guy is a risk taker. Not only is he a risk taker, he's a ground breaker. He took off and decided to go far, to go and break the ground, to replicate what his father did. And then lastly, this guy is also a very sensible person. Because after he has spent all his money and all his wealth on riotous living, this guy said he came to his senses. I mean, he could think. He came to say, okay, if I have to feed on pig's food, he came to say that people in my father's house, even servants in my father's house, they have something to eat. They have more than enough. He's sensible. Faith does not negate sense. No, it doesn't negate sense. He's very, very sensible. He came to himself and said, yes, I can go back home. I can go back home. So when we talk, or when we look at this guy, looking at him from his own aspect, we now look at him and can learn this lesson from. Listen to me, everyone. We all have to know this guy did everything right, one way or the other, but he did just one thing wrong. And that single thing that he did wrong was he lacked self-discipline. If he had been well-disciplined, he would have written another success story. Or someone who is daring, someone who is a groundbreaker, someone who stands out to be unique in himself. It is important for us to know that self-discipline puts out, when you put out self-discipline, it determines whether you will be financially secured or financially free. There is a difference between financial security and financial freedom. A lot of people are in the bracket of being financially secured. What does it mean to be financially secured? It simply means you have a job or you have an income that is able to solve all your financial needs. That is financial security. As long as you're on the job, your needs are being met. As long as you are working, your needs are being met. You are secured financially. But you know what? God wants us to be financially free. That is the higher level. And to be financially free means when your investment, when the returns on your investment returns, takes care of your need. Which means, what if you are not working in the next 1 year? Are your bills going to be paid? However, if you have invested so much, if you have invested so much in time past, and the rate of return on your investment, without you working, is able to foot all your bills and is able to meet your needs, then you are free. You are free. That means if you choose not to go to work on Monday or next week, I mean, if you decide, okay, I want to fire my boss. Can you fire your boss anyhow? Hello? A lot of us cannot fire our bosses because we are still not free. We only have security. And as long as we stay in the realm of security, we are not going to get there. And one way through which we can get from that point of being secured to the point of being free is what we have had. We've got to discipline ourselves. We've got at times to defer what we have. A lot of people tell me that it's not possible to save. And I tell people that, look, the pains of not saving is much more than the pains of, let me say this way, the pains of being insecure, the pains of you not saving, yes, is worse than the pains of embarrassment that you could face for not doing it. You have to do it. You may say, well, I don't have enough money. I tell people, you don't spend before you save. After you have gotten your income, you must pay your tithe to your church, bless people, and bless the Lord, and then you must pay yourself. You cannot be in business or you cannot be working and you say you cannot save. There is much oil in the house of the wise, but the Bible says the foolish squanders them all. What if you are not earning as much as you earn? It is a must. You must. Now, I don't intend to make you feel bad if you have not, but that is the benefit of listening to this. No matter what, you must save. And your savings must be translated to investment. Not that you save, and then all your savings goes on vacation trip. All the savings goes on spending. And I normally say, you have not saved, but you have only deferred your spending. Everybody, it's not so easy. Everybody loves to spend. Who does not like to spend here? If you're a single lady and you don't like to spend, I'm very sure the brothers will look at and say, oh, she's a good wife. Are you with me? That does not mean that if you love to spend, you're not a good wife. No. I'm just saying that everybody loves to spend. So when we talk of self-discipline, it takes that self-discipline to be prudent in saving and watch wealth grow. Wealth does not grow overnight. If any wealth grows overnight, please check it well. It is not true wealth. It takes time to grow. God could have created over 2 billion people on the earth, but he didn't do that. What did he do? He created a man, he created a woman, and told them, increase and multiply and replenish the earth. He's not a weak God, but that's the pattern of God. If anyone tells you that, hey, you're just going to hit it, boom, oh, maybe it's a jackpot. Even it has been proven statistically, there are people who win jackpots after many years, after about 10, 15 years, they go back to check them up, many of them end up being broke.
Yeah.
Why? Because they have not learned the act of multiplying. And that is one major thing that we all have to learn. The starting point is income. Your income. We're going to look at that as I move on. 2, self-discipline means that you have to defer your gratification for a greater return. You have to defer your gratification. I like to go on vacation. We all like to go on vacation. But you know what? You could actually go on vacation within your city. If you cannot go on vacation out to Mexico or to Europe, you can start off.
Staycation.
Oh, you can staycation. Stay within your city. Stay within your city. Staycation. Stay within your city. On the weekend, you can go to a resort with your family. It's not just expensive until when your income is able to grow and you're able to now go and get to a point when you can afford it. Who doesn't like to drive a car that you are going? People love to drive cars that when they are going, everybody's looking at the car and say, oh, this slicky, this nice. And you feel cool with yourself, you know. But people love, but you can afford it, but you may not be able to afford it now. For the fact that you cannot afford it now does not mean you cannot afford it in the future. And that's what I tell everybody. When faith simply means you are able to say, don't ever say, I can't afford it, and walk away. But once you say, I can't afford it, you close down. You may just say, I can't afford it now. Later, you'll be able to afford it because the path of the just is like the shining light that shines brighter and brighter until a perfect day. This is the worst position you can ever be. From here, you are going better. From here, you are going higher. From here, you are going forward. So, it is important, but you have to learn how to defer gratification. Don't be influenced by the Joneses, because everybody has their own season, and everybody has their own time. Like we said here, to pay just additional $100 or $200 on your mortgage can save you a 5-year payment. We had it here some time ago. It was demonstrated. You'll just be able to pay additional $100 or $200 on your mortgage every month. If you have a mortgage of about 25 years, you would automatically save about 5 years. Because that extra payment you are making does not go to service the interest, it goes to pay on the principal. It goes to pay on the principal. A lot of people just look at $100, oh, it's not that much. But you know what? If you are only disciplined, if you are paid bi-weekly, you pay additional $100. And your mortgage, you put your mortgage also bi-weekly. By the time you put your mortgage bi-weekly, you save at least about $2,000 to $3,000 if you pay bi-weekly than you pay once in a month. Because when you attack it bi-weekly, you are paying down on the principal. So you're not paying interest on that amount you have paid for the rent for the next 2 weeks. Hello, are you there? So don't just say, okay, I have the money, and the money is sitting pretty cool in your account, and then you are allowing the principal to run for its whole term. No! You can change your mortgage to bi-weekly, and you will save some amount within that. And then when you pay an extra $100 every bi-weekly, that comes to $200 in a month. You attack it, and you are attacking the principal. You are going to save 5 years. You can check it out. These are real. But it takes self-discipline to be able to run through it. Sticking to a monthly budget is important. Budget does not teach us to be shrewd or to be selfish. No. Budget simply means you predict the direction of where your fund goes to. A lot of people spend before checking their budget. No.